Did we cover that my newest update, my newest injury update?
We didn't. We should. I don't know if you
Okay.
wanted to talk. You
So
were in a bad place about it. I don't know if you wanted to
yeah,
talk about it, but
so I think last episode I was praising the gods that I felt this snap and this I heard this pop in my shoulder, my left shoulder when I was training back. It was actually on election day. So I took like it took me 5 days to get into the MRI, so I didn't train for 5 days. I got the MRI. My orthopedic looked at it and he said, "There's not a there's not a tear. I don't see a tear in your bicep." He said, and so when the radiologist read it, there was no tears in my any of my rotator cuffs. So I trained chest let's see. So I trained chest on Monday of last week. I took Tuesday off, trained back on Wednesday, took Thursday off, and trained bicep triceps on Friday. So last Friday I trained biceps tris, and I superset. So I did some tricep pushdowns, went over, did just a kind of a Smith machine or a Scott selectorized curl. So it's like a Scott curl machine. Nothing. Didn't feel anything. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be okay. And then I went over and they've got a an old flex machine that's an incline single arm bicep curl. You're kind of back and your
mm,
arms are on these. And so I did, usually I do like my warm up set is like 70 pounds. I do 70, 90, and 120. So I put it on 30 pounds and did it. And at about 9 reps, I could just feel my left bicep cramping. And I was just like, oh, fuck me. Because like when you tear a bicep, it cramps.
so
So
you knew it was a tear as soon as you felt it. Couldn't it have
sooner,
just been a cramp?
no,
Huh?
no, because I'd already trained back. And, like I'm thinking to myself, like, if it was, and I had to have had like a slap labrum tear. Like I had to have had something that, and not to blame the MRI, but I've got so much hardware in my shoulder that's holding everything together that when they take an MRI, you get a lot of artifact, so you don't get really true readings as you would, you know.
Right. If it was just
So yeah,
muscle.
so
Yeah.
it was just something that, but the bicep was because when I went to talk to the back surgeon, I went stopped by and I saw my orthopedist, and we sat down and he went through like slide by slide of both my uh, bicep tendons, and they were both intact. I saw both of them. So and then I just um, you can take your finger and put it in that groove and like make a bicep and then you rub your finger across that groove and you can feel your bicep tendon. And I did that. So when I got home that night, I just put ice on it. I said I'm not gonna fuck with it. I'm not gonna touch it. So I talked to my doc and he said, well, if it bleeds out, and I'm thinking I've torn like so many fucking things, and my shit never bleeds out. It just doesn't do it. Just isn't an indicator. So got up the next morning and I slept. I usually sleep naked, but I slept with the t-shirt on because it was the temperature went down. And got up, had a t-shirt on, and I'm just like, oh God, I'm gonna get in the shower. I'm gonna take this t-shirt off, and this whole fucking shoulder is gonna be fucking black and blue.
Yeah.
So I take the t-shirt off, nothing. So put my arm up, make a fucking bicep, and fucking they can see a little dent up here, like where it's going to start the Popeye arm. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So I go on YouTube and basically watch every fucking video. And I mean, I'm on my downstairs on my YouTube on my smart TV. So I'm sitting there fucking watching every video possible to see, what the procedures are and and everything else.
So you
So
tore the bicep.
yeah, I tore the biceps. So
This is
then,
a stupid question. When you tear, right, and it
but
disconnects.
it's here. So it
Oh, it's
connects. It's not a distal tear is at your elbow.
down here, right?
Yeah, I have that on this arm.
Okay.
This is a distal tear, and you can see. I mean, I'm missing a piece. Like it's just there's a big gap right here in my arm.
Okay.
So but this one, if I do it, it's starting to dent right there.
Okay.
That's starting to
So
dent.
what do we do for this now? How do we?
So well, so there's the procedure's called hold on a second. Let me see, because there's two different procedures you can do, and of course, being an orthopedic surgeon, I
Is
need the tendinosis, t t ten ten tendon yeah tendinosis. So what they'll do is they'll go in and they'll make an incision like here, and then they'll weave sutures into the tendon that's there, hoping that it hasn't fucking already retracted all the way. Because I'm not fucking around with this thing. I'm not picking anything up. I'm not going to the gym. So, hoping that it doesn't retract too far into my where they got to go find the fucking thing. Because a lot of times when it tears up here, it you can go in, find it, stitch it up in here, and then fucking clip the end of it, and then you basically drill a hole through the humerus and stick the bicep tendon through the humerus
you're like tying the tendon into a bone?
through a
You're saying.
bone. Yeah, you
Wow.
tie it through. You take it out of the rotator cuff and tie it into the bone because in essence that long head of the bicep is basically it's more aesthetic. It's only about a 10 to 15% change in your strength, you know, but you're going to have a Popeye arm, so you're going to have a fucking bicep that looks
Right.
like a 70-year-old woman that hasn't had breast augmentations, look like a bar of soap and a fucking tube
Sock.
sock.
Yeah.
So
So
and
Kev, this is surgery we're talking about here,
yeah,
right? No two ways about it. You're gonna have to have surgery.
and I think it's going to be. I think that I think my doc's really good. I think he'll be able to do it probably through two scope holes. But like I tell, like we talked today, and I was like, because when I looked at the MRI, I could see that there's a pretty decent bone spur on the head of my humerus, and there's some other things. So it's just like, you know, I'm not gonna have the alternator changed and not have them go through the fucking whole engine and
Fix everything.
fix every belt and it's just like if you're gonna put me out and fix the motherfucker, you might as well fix everything because I can't move that arm for once they put that tendon through that bone, it's 6 weeks before you can even fuck with it. So it's gonna be 6 weeks of just
So what do you do as a bodybuilder? Because how do you keep your proportional? Because you won't be able to lift with that arm, but
right.
you can do like curls with your right arm. But you wouldn't.
I won't, because at this point of my life, my tendonitis and everything else is so bad in the rest of my body that I'll just let my body heal. Like I'll really cut. I'll diet like a son of a bitch.
Mm.
I'll increase my. I'll make. I'll just be as healthy as I can. I've still got it. I'm still having problems, getting this leg to recover. The problem I have now is that I was going to go down to get stem cells. Well, I'm going to have my fucking arm like this in a sling, and you can't put me fucking face down and inject fucking into my spine with my arm there, and you can't fucking move my arm anywhere because it'll tear the fucking tendon graft. So that's going to set me back.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So that's postponed.
yeah, so it looks like I'm not going to be on the PGA circuit fucking probably until fucking June. I look at it though, and I say it's like I got super fucking depressed. And there's this picture I have of like Tristan and I had this ongoing thing that we both hate when somebody says to you, "Bro, don't worry, you got this." What do I have? What do I have? Like what is who came up with that? Bro, you got this. If it's a fucking 35-foot putt, I get it. Come by and say, "Bro, you got this." And then when I miss it, you go, "Okay, you don't." When it's but if it's not like a fucking it's one thing if it's a cliff dive, you got this. Well, if I miss it, I die. Fuck it. So so I have this picture of tea, and this is my it's my go-to picture when I get totally depressed of my son with this smirk on his face. Let's see if I can get it up there. Let's see, where's it at?
Bring it down a little. There it
There
is.
he is.
I got him. Yep.
Yeah, there he is. But he just has this smirk on his face. And so I was just looking through my phone. I was having the, poor pitiful me moments. And I just said, "You got this." And I just laughed. Like, because when it comes down to it, I'm not, I don't have anything I have to do. I don't have anything I have to do work wise. I don't have to go to any I don't have any personal appearances. I have like nothing. I have nothing planned because of my back and the things. I was just like, let me just get healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And, and this is another thing. It's just like when you say, let me get healthy, that means let me get my injuries healed so I can like get things back going.
Mm-hmm.
And so Tamara says, my wife is always worried I'm going to blow my brains out or some shit because I would say that I was pretty dark when T passed, but I wasn't. I was never, believe it or not, I I believe in my heart and in my mind and in my conscience that if I commit suicide, I will never see my son again.
Okay.
But if I pass of natural, that he and I'll see my son again. So that's just my beliefs. I
Okay.
I don't care what anybody has to say. Oh fuck you, you and your make believe friend or whatever the fuck. Just that's how I feel. That's how I believe.
No, that's a
You're,
healthy. That's a healthy take.
yeah. So it's just like, and if and I was brought up I was brought up as a Christian. So that's one of the things is you don't, if you commit suicide, you don't, you don't have afterlife. So that was embedded in me, and I think it's a weak fucking bitch ass thing to do. So it's just I just wouldn't do that. So
But the photo, specific to the photo, let me go back.
yeah. So yeah.
You
So
get the "you got this" vibes
I
from.
got that. Yeah. He hit me with the "you got this," and so as I'm sitting there, I'm just like, it's not like I just got a telephone call and they're like, "You got pancreatic cancer, dude. You've got a faulty heart valve,
Mhm.
dude. Your your triglycerides are through the fucking roof. What are you doing? Your liver enzymes are like, I don't fucking drink. I don't fucking smoke. I don't do shit." And it's like, I'm cool. Like
Mhm.
I have a little bit of a setback.